Hello everybody and welcome to Largely Mediocre Gaming Season 2. I'm Lumper, here to bring you a bit of Kerbal Space Program. And oh my god, I'm so excited because a new science update came out last Wednesday, or Thursday I think it was, late in the day. And they've added loads of cool new stuff that I can't wait to show you. So let's pop right in. And first thing you notice is boom, career mode's in. Oh yeah, after all this time waiting, we finally have our career mode. And the main difference is that this has the science system, where you start off with a few things and you need to unlock a lot more. So we're going to call this Largely Mediocre Science. Scientismness. Yep, nice great name there. And what flag do we want? Do you want to be minimalistic? That could be quite... Oh no. Yeah, retro. Yeah, I like that. Okay, we're going to be retro. That's a cool flag. I'll probably get a custom one of these days, get a custom flag, but okay, for now, retro, and let's kick off and find out what's going on. So, this is our Kerbal Space Center, and as you can immediately see, they've added something a bit new, and that's the Research and Development Center. And if you click on that, you get here. So this is our tech tree, and in here you can see what technologies you have and what you're going to have, or what you're going to unlock. So you start out with all of this stuff, this technology we started out with, and it's a basic command pod, one type of engine, a booster, a fuel tank, you know, a few different simple things, a communicator which is going to be important. This is all we start out with, and it's not great, we can't build too much of that. And then here we have the basic rocketry, that's what we're going to unlock next, and then from there we'll get more and more new parts. So this is how the research and development works. You start off with a few things, then you unlock more using science. So next you'll get a better fuel tank, a new science unit, and a decoupler, which is going to be really helpful because we can build something a bit more complicated. But we don't have any science yet. I can't research anything, as you can see, not enough science to research this node. So we need to earn some science. I'm going to pop into the vehicle assembly building and build a very basic rocket that can hopefully get us to orbit. And while I'm doing that, I want to talk a bit about the channel. So we've been away for a while. The channel's been down, the blog's been down, because both me and Mock have been busy. We've just started uni at the same time, which means we haven't been able to work on it. But now we're both sort of settled into a groove and we're back, and we want to do things a lot better. So the blog is going to be back. That's going to have sort of consistent, frequent updates. The channel's back, and I want to do a lot of improvements to the channel, and in general things are going to be a lot better. Now when I say improvements to the channel, I've got a few different things in mind. The first is the new series that you're going to be seeing like emerging over the course of the next couple of weeks. The second is that I want to do shorter episodes. So before I was running into like 45 minutes to an hour per episode for everything, which just isn't great. I mean, it gave me a tendency to ramble, and it meant that, you know, the videos just weren't of the quality that I'm happy with. So now we're going for shorter episodes, a bit more focused, a bit better. We're also going to be hopefully getting better commentary for me, because let's face it, my commentary last season was terrible. So getting back to the important bit though, which is the science at hand. Here we have our first rocket. Very simple, as you can see, because we don't have much to work with. I'm just stacking as many fuel tanks as I think this engine can hold to give us as much delta V as possible. And I'm going to be really efficient, hopefully, with our gravity turns and things to get us into orbit. Now, it's worth me mentioning that although I say you can't really do much yet because you don't have many systems, people have already built rockets capable of getting to like the moon and back. And the way they've done that, using only these simple parts, is to arrange them in a way I'm going to try and show you, like this for example, so that they deliberately overheat, and then you can stage them using no decouplers just by blowing up parts of your ship, which I think is genius, and it's a testament to how creative KSP is and how creative the community is. I mean, Scott Manley I think already made it to Minmus, past the moon and back in the space of one flight using just these parts, which is incredible. But a bit above my pay grade, so for now we're going to stick with this nice and simple, and I'm going to call it the... let's call it... the Tycho. I've decided I'm going to name my ships after webcomic related things. So for now, this is the Tycho. And without any further ado, let's launch. So, resources up, stick the SAS on, throttle up, and let's get out of here. Okay, I could probably have had another fuel tank on because we've managed to lift off quite easily there. If I go into map view, let's bring up our little nav ball. And for now, we'll just pop straight up. So, how do we earn science? That's the important part here. Now, the way science works is that you do different data collection methods in different places, and if you're in a different exotic place, you'll get science, and you can either transmit that or you can collect it when you land. So for example, right now I've just got this command pod. That's the only way I can collect data, and we're still just above Kerbal over the shore, so I only get 3.5 science if I transmit this, which is what I'm going to do. So let's send that data off. Notice this takes up a bit of electricity in the top right hand corner, so you can only really do it while the engine is burning. So we've sent our first bit of data off. That's given us a bit of science, which we can then use to purchase a new upgrade in the R&D centre, which is going to be helpful, and we're going to keep repeating that in different places, trying to get more and more science. So round about when we hit a slightly thinner part of the atmosphere, I'm going to start the gravity turn. Yeah, let's begin it now. I'm going to switch over to orbital view. I'm just going to bring myself down to say 80. There we go. And try and push this out, and then I'm going to turn faster because we're getting quite high now. Yeah, I haven't been efficient enough. Irritating. I haven't managed to get a decent gravity turn yet in a ship like this. I had it down, I thought. But here we go. Been slightly inefficient. We probably won't make it to orbit if I'm very honest, but it's worth a try, isn't it? Isn't it worth a try? Now we're in the upper atmosphere, so I can send a crew report with some slightly different data, which I'll do, transmit it, and bam, 5 more data, 3.5 science, because we're in the upper atmosphere, which counts as a different place to the coast, different to the sea, so on and so forth. I can also quickly EVA Jeb. He can do a report while he's out of the ship, and then I'm going to keep that data and board him again. And now it stores the data in the command pod, so you can see here I can review the stored data. EVA report from Kerbal's upper atmosphere from Jeb. You're starting to feel you should get back in the ship. Too right you should, Jeb. So we've got that data stored now, and we've got a bit more. We're earning science. It's going well. I'm going to get out of the atmosphere and then do another EVA. And that means we get a new report, because we're in space above Kerbal's water, so that's another new place. And now I'm going to start burning, because we need to try and circularize this orbit, if at all possible. Be nice and efficient about this, hopefully. Might just be able to make this. We've got about 10 more seconds of burn. How close are we going to get? Who knows? Nope, haven't made it. Not even close. So we're suborbital, which is far from ideal, but now the important part is, can I bring this ship back safely with all that nice data that we've collected, so I can preserve this science. So I will meet up with you again when we're about to land, or when we're near a landing. Okay, so join me again. I've deployed my parachute as early as I possibly could, to try and slow us down, but tragically we're landing over water, which is really risky, because then you don't get the benefit of the ship sort of blowing up beneath you as much and slowing you down. At the moment I have no way to slow down except the parachute and the actual ship itself just blowing up and taking up some of the force of impact, because luckily we have an engine and a lot of fuel tanks between us and the surface. So as long as the command pod survives, we keep all that lovely science that we've gathered. But if it blows up, we've lost all of it. And at the moment, it's still coming in a little fast at 11.4 meters per second. Now, if I'd been clever and preserved some fuel, I could have done a suicide burn just as we hit to try and slow us down. But I didn't preserve any fuel. I got a bit greedy. And hopefully, the parachute and a bit of luck, the command pod can survive this. So let's see what happens. Yeah, there we go. Just about. So we've survived. And let's recover the vessel and see how much science we earned. So we got the EVA from Kerbin's upper atmosphere, which is 5.6. We got another EVA from the space, which is another 8 science. We recovered a vessel, which gives us a bonus. And we had all the science that we transmitted during the flight. So overall we've earned 28 science, which is brilliant. So now if I go to the research center, you can unlock some lovely things. So I'm going to research basic rocketry. And then we've unlocked, as you can see, more stuff in the tech tree. So what I probably want for now is, maybe the radial decoupler, because that'll make it easier to sort of, yeah, that'll make it a lot easier to build a complicated ship. But really, part of me wants a more efficient engine. Difficult to decide. General rocketry would give us a bigger booster and a engine that enables gimbling, which will be helpful. But for now, I'm going to pick up I'm going to pick stability. So let's research that. And that gives us our radial decoupler. Okay, so now let's go to the vehicle assembly building and let's try and make something that can get us into orbit. This worked pretty well. So now I'm going to go into propulsion and I'm just going to stick a few solid rocket boosters on this. And hopefully that should be all we really need to get this lovely little thing into orbit. And let's maybe stick on one pair more. There we go. So, bunch of SRBs. This will hopefully now get us to orbit. I'm going to call this the Gabe. Yeah, awesome. And in fact, I might even make a little stage and let's see if we can get a bit higher. We can also now, if you'll notice, have a new fancy science doodad that I'm going to stick on, called the Mystery Goo Containment Unit. So I want a couple of these on the rocket because they can collect lots of lovely data for us, which is super helpful. So I'm going to stick that there like so. And let's stick on some of those. Oh, we need a parachute. Okay. Bad. Parachute on the top. Brilliant. And let's see if we can make it to orbit. Save and launch. Okay, so SAS on, bring up the resources, and let's do this. We do not have enough control, maybe. Oh, we don't have enough torque to keep this steady in flight. There's a simple solution for that, but for now let's just try and... yeah, let's revert. Let's go back to vehicle assembly. Probably could have saved that flight, but for now I just want to do this. Okay, I'm sticking on some more command pods. The reason is because that's the only way we have at the moment to add torque. We don't have any reaction wheels that we can just stick in the middle from the control section because we haven't unlocked them yet. So I'm just going to stick on some more command pods. That should hopefully give us the torque to survive this. That's the plan. For now, let's launch again and hope this goes a bit better. Hopefully. So, SAS on, let's throttle up and burst. Yeah, that is a lot more stable. Brilliant. And it's a lot faster as a ship. We might overheat slightly, but that's no problem. Which ones are overheating? Outside ones. Weird. Hopefully they will run out before they blow up. That would be ideal. Please don't blow up. Okay, brilliant. That worked pretty damn well. I'm going to begin my gravity turn now, because I'm trying to learn my lesson. I need to be a lot more efficient with my gravity turns. I need to start a lot earlier and be a lot more aggressive with them. So we're going to go down to 80, maybe even to 75, and just keep on burning in that direction. I can go even lower, in fact, it looks like, because we're still rapidly gaining altitude. I'm going to go down to 45 perhaps. And we've got out of the atmosphere. Okay. You'll notice, plenty of fuel to spare, which is ideal. So now I can show you the mystery goo. Lovely. So, the goo seems to be getting very cold. We'll keep that data, and now we've got it stored, ready for collection when we land back on the surface of Kerbin. And what these essentially provide is just another way to record data. You'll notice they provide quite a lot of it. So when I review the data, 7 science, whereas the crew reports from this situation only gave us about 3.5 or up to maybe 5. So we're going to hold on to that data, and we're going to maybe try and get some more when we're out in the atmosphere. Okay, we're out of the atmosphere now. Let's record some data from our friend the mystery goo. Mystery goo observation while in space near Kerbin. The goo has clumped into a sphere and become brittle. Interesting. Let's keep that data. 10 whole science. That's going to be lovely if we can get that back to Kerbin. I might keep the data from another one as well. We're past the apoapsis. I wasn't paying attention. That's really bad. Okay, let's burn upward to try and get our apoapsis back in front of us, and then tilt back down. Okay, yeah, that's inefficient of me, but oh well, these things happen from time to time. I'm hoping we will this time make it into orbit, because I'll be really disappointed if we don't after all this kerfuffle that I've gone through. We've got 20 more seconds of burn or thereabout. That should be plenty, I think. Yep. 10. Let's keep burning to get this out of atmosphere. Okay, I'm just going to accelerate a bit. That too. Let's accelerate back to apoapsis. Be a bit more efficient about this because I want some fuel to land with as well. Stick on the SAS and bam, we are in orbit. Awesome sauce. Quite a circular one as well. 74 to 75 grand. Yeah, that's pretty damn circular orbit we've managed to pull off there by pure fluke. And we've even got enough to deorbit ourselves and land. So let's maybe orbit the planet once, just so we can say we've done that. Oh, look at that, we can see the sun setting in the west over Kerbin there. And rising in the east as we come around the other side. If you go against the orbit, obviously you can do the clever little trick of being able to see the sun rise on the west side, which is pretty damn cool. So yeah, we've orbited Kerbin, and now when we return we're going to get a lot of science for doing so. And we've got our lovely mystery goo containers with plenty of data. So now I need to pick a spot to land. Part of me would like to land near Kerbal space station, but the other part thinks that's stupid. I'm going to try and land on a big wide continent where I won't have any difficulty hitting the surface and making it a bit easier on myself. So I'm going to aim for around here. Let's spin around. And we're going to aim to hit the continent after the big crater. So you see, if I hover my mouse here, you can see that little ball. There's a crater above it, and we're aiming for the continent to the right of that crater. And let's slow ourselves down and try and make this happen. Like so. That should be fine. Okay, that looks brilliant. And when we slow down in the atmosphere, it should bring us to just about onto the continent, hopefully. So let's speed up time and watch. Hope for that to happen. It'd be great if we land in the desert as well, because we can get plenty of science from there. We've also got one more container of goo we haven't yet used. That's going to be nice if we can maybe analyse that. So we've got it from the upper atmosphere. Let's try and get one in the lower atmosphere, just for the sake of mixing things up a bit. And I'll rejoin you when we're a bit closer to landing. Okay, so here we are, getting a bit closer to landing. I'm pretty pleased. I managed to land in this massive crater on the surface of Kerbal, which is kind of cool because I don't think I've been here before. I mean, I always mean to like send jets to these places and check them out, but I've just never bothered. Let's maybe do a crew report as soon as we've got a bit of spare electricity on the side there. Cool. Over the mountains, that counts. That's a fresh one. So, coming down to land, let's hope the parachute kicks in. I'm going to slow us down a bit with the... There we go. With the rocket, so that the parachute doesn't generate quite as much G. And now, because we've got these science goo container things... Let's keep that data, lovely. Because we've got those goo containers, I can't afford to just let the ship blow up. I need to actually slow it down and be clever about this. And try and keep as much of the ship alive as possible, which would be ideal. But it's going to fall, don't blow up. Oh, we lost one science container. You know what, that's not too bad. We've kept the rest. And I'm pretty sure these ones have plenty of good data in them. I'm tempted to EVA Jeb. Yep. And let's get a data sample. From Kerbal's mountains, here the surface is mostly barren, snow, dirt, rocks. You're very confident if you looked under the snow, you'd find more dirt and rocks. Brilliant. He's going to keep that data. He's going to do an EVA report. And keep that data. And then... let's jump and try and get back in. Don't want to do it. Come on, Jeb. I believe in you. No, okay. Let's just recover him. And that gave us 11 science. And if we go to the Space Center, we can recover our actual ship and get even more science, which should be lovely. 34 science from all the mystery goo and various things that we used. Lovely. So this is just the beginning. You can see there's a lot more technology to unlock. So in future episodes we're going to be progressing further. I think next time we're going to try for the moon. Try and make a nice simple ship that can get there. So for now I'm going to unlock a few new cool things before we go. So let's get this cool little efficient engine. Let's get flight control because I feel like I desperately need it. You know, I can't afford that. So I'll just get the general rocketry as well. So we've got a nice engine of gimbaling that can actually help us control the ship. And then from there, we've got a lot to learn. So you can get a better fuel tank, we can get some structural brilliance, all sorts of cool stuff. But to get a lot more science, because we need 45 for everything in the next tier, I think we need to go to the moon. That's going to be our goal next episode. Until then, I've been Lumper. This has been Largely Mediocre Gaming, giving you Kerbal Space Program with update 0.22. And you've been a wonderful audience. I hope I'll see all of you next time. Bye bye.